How's it going, guys? Welcome to Working on RC Car Wednesdays, but on a Thursday, and you're probably watching it on a Friday, or you should be, because that's when I'm releasing it, probably, and if you're not, then you probably didn't watch it when I release it, and shame on you for that. But we're not actually going to work on this, even though it is a project car. I've got something else. Hey guys, Tony here, CCxRC, and on the bench I've got a little project for you guys today. We're going to be working on the Feiyue FY07, putting in some new CVDs for the front. I went ahead and bought some upgrade parts, and I'll tell you a little bit about that process. But basically, when I was out bashing with it at the camping trip, I took it, and the campgrounds were unlevel, and there was one that was about 3 feet higher than the other right next to each other, and I was trying to jump down off of it. And I didn't go and scope it out first, and apparently there was like a ledge, and I just smashed the front end into it, and I ended up breaking one of the CVDs in the front axle areas, up in the like kind of the knuckle area where the wheel kind of meets. And so anyway, ordered new parts. I like this car, so I want to keep it running. Thought I'd get some upgrades, and so we're gonna look at that today. It clipped with this wheel, and it broke it off. So the CVD is shot, but I really do like this car, so I don't want to just let it go to waste. And so we've gone ahead and we've ordered some upgrade parts for this thing. Now, I got these on eBay. No, I looked on eBay for stuff, and I didn't like what I saw on eBay because they had another pin in it. This is like a hex shape in here that goes into, well, it's male and female parts, so you know what happens there. But anyway, these go together, and I like that there's not extra pins and stuff. There's already enough pins to break in these kinds of things. So we're going to be taking out the plastic ones in here. It's not necessarily for this model, but there's a lot of them that are very similar, so I'm hoping that the parts just kind of work from the older model, the FY03. This being the FY07. I'm hoping they just did some little upgrades inside and just gave it a new number. But we'll see in just a minute, huh? So basically, here's what I was talking about. This is the hex piece right here. Focus. You can see the angles as it's hitting the light there. And so these go together. No extra pins needed. And yeah, it's perfect for what we need. So we're just going to try and slip it in here, and hopefully it'll fit in, and we'll have a good working piece. I think I'm going to remove this front bumper. I think that's our first step. Hopefully it's just going to be these 4 screws here, and it'll be out of our way so we can get in to what we need to, which is the pin on the CVD. I'm actually surprised that I didn't break more when I hit that wall like I did. But pretty tough little car. And these being plastic, you know, that's probably a pretty easy break point anyway, so it's just good to get this piece out of our way and behind us, the easy break, and we'll have some nice tough axles up in the front end here, basically CVDs, whatever you want to call them. I need to really learn the difference between universal drive shafts, dog bones. I know what the dog bones are. It's pretty obvious. And then the CVD. First thing is wheel nuts are going to come off. Like so. Save these pieces. We're going to need them. Like so. Next, what I want to do is, I've already got the bumper off. That was one of the steps in the beginning. I'm going to take off this little knuckle here. Like so. I've switched the ones I'm working on because it's easier to show this one on video because of the side that it's on and the way that the camera is facing. So when I started taking it apart, I was going to work on the broken one, but now we're just going to show you guys the process. They're both the same, but we're going to do it on the one that was still in one piece. But it's a good fit, I already know that, so now it's just a matter of showing you how to do it. Alright, so pretty much this is ready to just push out now, like so. I'm going to keep this bearing because we're going to want to clean it up a little bit. But this is what I broke, is this little plastic hinge right here, whatever hinge pin or that holds the two pieces together here of this CVD. And so again, my fault. I hit a curb. Basically, it was wood, but I was trying to ledge jump. So I'm just going to spin this around using the tire on the other side to make it so that I can get my wrench in here easily. And so this takes a 1.5 millimeter here to get it off of, to get the little grub pin screw dealio. Actually, this is just on these, they're not a grub, it's just a little bolt out. We're going to pull this off. Now here's the trick. These are a little bit hard to get on, at least one of them was. And so I'm going to go ahead and just throw a little bit of marine grease in here. Hopefully help lubricate it so that it'll slide on easier than the last try that I made at this. So kind of get it lined up in here. Probably can't see this great. And you really just have to push hard on it until it'll pop in there. There, little snap. You hear that maybe? Here's one of the little screws that's going to go in there. Again, it's the 1.5 millimeter wrench on this. We're going to put some blue Loctite on it. I've already got some laid out here. A little piece of plastic for myself to just kind of get it on the end of the little bolt or the screw. And we're going to spin this back around where we can see it all. And the reason we're doing this is that it's a metal piece and it's a metal screw. And so the threads are metal on both the bolt or the screw and the threading that receives it on this CVD piece. Now what I'm going to do also is I'm going to add a little bit of marine grease onto the bearing just to kind of waterproof it a little bit. Just to, it's a moving part, and so we'll just have it slides up and down inside of that other arm. Oops, sorry. I get it through this bearing here, which is just kind of wanting to fall out. So just have to try and hold it in place until we can get this all in here. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of use flat side here just to get in enough to put my pin through. Tightening it down should help draw it a little bit as well when we get to that. So now I'm just going to kind of get these two pieces lined up, and we'll get them together like they need to be. And there it goes. Slid it right in. There's probably more graceful ways to do that than I just did for you guys. So we'll go ahead and we'll just put these screws back in and start putting it back together. But it's a pretty easy upgrade to do, you guys, so I would highly recommend it. It's going to make it a whole lot tougher than having these plastic pieces that your wheels are attached to for any bashing, because these are like rock crawlers, so they're going to be bouncing off of rocks and catching and trying to turn on rocks and stuff like that. So you just want to have a little bit stronger pieces here, so when your tires are moving, it'll have a little bit something stronger on the other side there. Alright, that's good. Take this little tiny pin here. I'm going to stick this in here so we can put our little hex on. The bearing's got to get pushed up against more. Come on, bearing, work with me here. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we're in. So let's take our little metal wheel hex here and just slap it on here like so, and we're ready for our wheel and our wheel nut. That easy, guys. Alright. I like it when fixes are easy. A lot of times I break things that are pretty difficult to fix and expensive. This was pretty inexpensive and yeah, not a big deal to do, and it's definitely a good upgrade to do. It's going to be 4 quick screws. Got to line up the body with these ones. And that one. So the next upgrade that I'm going to want to do is to get a metal rear drive shaft. If you saw the video when I did this unboxing, I already lost one of the grub screws, or the screws for this, and so I had to find one that would fit. And it also is just kind of a little bit hard to get to because you have to take so much apart to get to that. So that is what I'll need to do next. But for now, I'm just going to try running it as is and see how we're doing. But I'm liking that upgrade. It's definitely a cool looking car. Definitely one I want to keep running. Even if I end up giving it to somebody here locally. It's just something that's worth having and running. So we're going to keep it in running condition while we can. There's definitely enough part availability for these. I chose to go with the Amazon route and came here in about a week. Everything else was looking like it was going to take a little bit longer. It was not Prime or anything like that. It just, it still actually came from China. But somehow they got it here in a week for me. But yeah, it looks good. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. Tony here, CCxRC. That was just a little quick project for you guys. In case you're looking to do some upgrades to any of these Feiyue FY03, 06, 07. This was kind of just a generic part. All of these are kind of built off the same chassis, and so it should actually work with your WL Toys 12428s as well, I believe, since that kind of is the same style. Twin hammer kind of clone, I guess. So these parts should be interchangeable. I'll put the link in the description for you below, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Have fun RC, and catch you next time.